interested in this being the annual Claudia Jones lecture.
Probably best known for taking the lead in launching what's become the Notting Hill Carnival following the 1958 race riots. But her story is much more interesting than that. Born Claudia Cumberbatch in Trinidad in 1915, she moved to New York aged 8 with her family and 3 sisters. In the 1930s, she became an active member of the American Communist Party, and as a very talented journalist, she became the Negro Affairs editor for the party's newspaper. Now, Claudia understood the centrality of women to any genuine liberation movement or struggle. Black women she described as being super exploited, both as workers, as women, and then as black people as well. Refused entry to Trinidad, she was granted asylum in Britain, something I don't think would happen now. In London, she became a leading figure of the emerging black rights movement, as many immigrants were being discriminated against in housing and employment.
There are 3 urgent and indeed great problems that we face, not only in the United States of America, but all over the world today. That is the problem of racism, the problem of poverty, and the problem of war.
Inauguration Day itself in January of 2009, popular sentiment and media coverage continued to interpret Obama's election as the culmination, the fruition of King's dream.
Tonight's event is in that spirit, in a sense of looking at issues which look at the problems and difficulties and the achievements.
One of Claudia Jones's enduring legacies is the Notting Hill Carnival. Now, I'm sure she'd have a few things to say about its current incarnation, especially the role of big business in shaping and moulding the event. But it's important to remember that Carnival in Caribbean cultures has always been more than just a commercial vehicle.
It's hardly surprising to see disillusionment and ultimately the exodus of black journalists from newsroom.
What needs to happen? I think Parliament needs to represent the people. It's a vicious circle because if you don't see people that look like you don't think that it's for you.
And media affects how the wider society sees people of colour, but it also affects how we see ourselves.
As black workers and as black people who focus on the media and creativity, it's thinking about how can we create new spaces ourselves, and how can we ensure that we don't spend what little energy we do have left when we're dealing with global crises and just trying to become included in a space that was never created by or for us, and a space within which we may never be able to thrive in the way that we could and should.
We are black journalists and we can bring and bathe in the joys of our existence and of this horrible, delightful world that we find ourselves in. Looking for joy could help bring nuance to our journalism and solace to our souls.